I'm Aljon Go, podcaster and producer of the Disney List, Skull Rock Podcast, and Dining at Disney. When you're creating content, podcast, webcasting, live streaming, or wanting to step up your video conference calls, you need quality gear and accessories. That's why I use Gator frameworks in my studio. From professional broadcast boom arms and microphone stands, studio monitor speaker stands, ring light kits, headphone holders, elite furniture studio desks, and acoustic wall treatments, Gator Frameworks has you covered. Gator is the leading brand of cases, stands, and support system solutions for music, Pro AV, Creative Pro, IT, and general utility industries. They have over 1,000 different solutions made from vacuum-formed plastics, rational molded plastics, wood, sewn, and EVA materials. Leveraging their expertise in case design and manufacturing, Gator has a complete OEM division that works with leading companies around the world to engineer and create custom cases for original equipment manufacturers. For more information, visit GatorFrameworks.com. Product provided in exchange for promotional consideration.
Skull Rock Podcast, talking all things Disney, with your hosts Aljon Go and Dave Bossert.
Do you just love to learn more about the magic that embodies animated films, theme park attractions, and more? The all-encompassing universe created and produced by the genius of Walt Disney has spanned nearly 100 years and counting.
From his earliest film endeavors with the Laugh-O-Gram cartoons and the Alice comedies, to the creation of Mickey Mouse, to the first animated feature film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and then dreaming of Disneyland, Walt Disney continuously raised the creative bar, and today his company has carried on that tradition as a global entertainment juggernaut. I'm Dave Bossert, artist, filmmaker, and author.
And I'm Aljon Go, musician, podcaster, and radio guy. Every week, Dave and I will explore the entertainment galaxy that is Disney with insightful conversation, stories, and special guests talking all things Disney.
Listen to never-before-heard stories and behind-the-scenes moments from some of your favorite Disney films, theme park attractions, performances, books, music, and so much more from knowledgeable, insightful, and thought-provoking hosts and guests. Hear the latest news about Disney past, present, and future.
Skull Rock Podcast is your go-to source for the magic we all love. Skull Rock Podcast. Visit skullrockpodcast.com.
This is Kat from Dining at Disney, and I'm here with Kristen. Kristen, tell us about some cruise line travel deals.
Right now on the Disney Cruise Line, you can save up to 35% off on select sailings. You can get sailings out of Miami, New York, Galveston, Port Canaveral, Vancouver, San Juan, and a few others. So if you're looking to take a Disney cruise right now, let me know because you can save up to 35%.
Kristen, how can people get a hold of you to book these incredible travel deals?
They can contact me at themeparksandcruises@gmail.com.
From the Gator Framework Studio in Music City, it's the Dining at Disney podcast.
You know the thing about good food? It brings folks together, all walks of life.
You'll discover all the best restaurants and food as you hungrily explore the Disney parks.
Let's do this thing!
The Dining at Disney podcast with your hosts, Kristen Hoetzel, Bubba Alvarez, and Kat Arcori.
Welcome to the Dining at Disney podcast. I am Kristen, and joining me, of course, is Bubba, Kat. We have producer Aljon, and today we have very special guests who are from Traveling Around Disney, and they recently went on the Disney Dream Cruise. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we share new content. For those of you new to the show, we do 2 a week. So you want to make sure you check those out. Okay, so before we talk to Todd and Michelle, let's get into a little bit of quick Disney food news. You got that, Kat?
I do. Oh my gosh, I choked to death. Victoria and Albert, which has been closed for some ridiculous amount of days at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa in Orlando, will be reopening on July 28th with reservations available starting June 20th. Which, if I'm not wrong, is today, which is great. Awesome. Love it. get on those Victoria and Albert reservations if you're interested. Victoria and Albert's, they are a AAA 5-Diamond Award winners since 2000 and Forbes Travel Guide 5-Star Award since 2018. They are the only restaurant in Florida to hold that honor of having both of those awards. They are one of only 26 others in the nation. This is a high ticket reservation with some fine dining. Really excited to see this opening because it means that we're one step closer to getting some Takumi Tay reservations on the board. Honestly, for selfish reasons. But Victoria and Albert's, chef's table, regular reservations, dress code, over at the Grand Floridian. It's a great experience. I haven't done it, but I've heard really wonderful things. Aljon and Kristen, you guys have done it, haven't you?
Yes, we have. And it was fantastic. Food was excellent. Yeah. Service phenomenal. The drink pairing couldn't have been more perfect. So I highly suggest it if you have the expendable income to do so. It's definitely, even if it's something you can only do once in your life. If you can do it, do it. We did it using the Disney rewards dollars from our Disney Visa. So that saved us a lot of money that way out of pocket.
Yeah, that really came in handy. We're like, we're going to cash in our points. Yay. We have anniversary dinner there. So good.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's July 28th, just around the corner.
Not much longer. So make sure you guys get your reservations as soon as you can. Okay, on to the big show topic. We have special guests today, Todd and Michelle Strobel from Traveling Around Disney. And you guys just got back from the last 4-night sailing on the Disney Dream, which went out of Port Canaveral. So let's talk about your overall experience to start.
Okay, we can do that.
Well, first we should tell you that was our first ever cruise, as as our first Disney Dream.
Oh, wow. So that made it even better.
Fabulous time.
Well, before we even do that, I'd like to actually get to know you because you've been posting at the Dining at Disney Facebook group, and you have your YouTube channel and all your reviews and stuff. I want to tell everybody about where to find you and all your reviews first.
Yep, we are definitely Traveling Around Disney. I am actually a current cast member for Disney. I work at the Contemporary, and Michelle got me to start this YouTube channel when I got released from the company, but then was hired back, and we had started the channel, and her thing was once we hit 1,000, she would come on camera. So we hit 1,000.
I didn't dream in a million years that we would hit that.
Yeah,
so I thought I was just, keeping him going.
Exactly. So she kept me going. We hit 1,000 and we got our hours and all that good stuff in. So we are Traveling Around Disney on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and Twitter. But we really do appreciate you guys for letting us share our travels with our travelers and with your folks on your pages. So we really do appreciate that.
A really great community. We call them our traveler family. Family.
Yeah, they're not subscribers, they're travelers.
Yeah. And we invite them. We have dinners and lunches when they come in, and we try to make ourselves available. So we want to hear their stories and their Disney magic moments. We've been longtime Disney fans. I think almost every major holiday or celebration has been done somewhere on Disney property.
Yes.
So,
and likely we have done Victoria and Albert's, and we've done it twice.
We've had the
Nice.
Awesome.
I don't know about the new increases, but hey, we can talk about that at a later date.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So we decided to share our travels with everybody, and this was our first cruise. So we went on the Dream, and as a cast member, I get,
Full disclaimer, I went back when I was like a senior in high school. That was eons ago. So I don't really even remember, but we were excited to go. I was a little nervous about, the things that everybody's nervous about, seasickness and et cetera, but no problems. It was just, we're just so excited. We just can't wait to go again, which we actually are going soon.
And Kristen had contacted us before because we were supposed to go before this date, but someone came down with a little, a little cold, and he had to cancel
a little
the
extra
cruise.
Disney magic there.
Yeah, so
that's the one I've been on, is the Disney Magic.
Yeah, which we want to go on.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney was very quick. They turned us right back around onto a Dream just at a later time. So because of the protocols and everything, we were able to get on a later ship 3 weeks later. So it was perfect. They worked wonders with us.
That's great.
Cool.
So
That's
overall,
always important when you're traveling.
right?
Yeah.
I think overall, we've been talking about the cruise since we got off the ship. And I think we both kind of agreed day 1 and 2 for us was really shaky. Honestly, we weren't sure if we were cruise people. We weren't sure if this was kind of right for us. I think we had to change our gears a little bit from being an on-site Disney property vacation, which is just 100% go, 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 to the cruise life, which it was much more relaxed and laid back and restful. But I think you probably agree, day 3 hit and we were just hooked. Like now it's just
Castaway Key. Castaway Key did it. It was It's hard, and a lot of people don't understand. It's hard to disconnect from this little bad boy. And the Disney the Disney Dream did not have the best of Wi-Fi. We had several friends of ours on the cruise that actually got a refund on the Wi-Fi because it wasn't as effective. So when you
I was going to say for the because this is an audio podcast, the little bad boy he's referring to is his cell phone, his smartphone.
And sorry about that. I forget about that.
Internet.
Oh, we do it all the time.
That's why.
It was because she asked me at the end of day 2. She's like, "Oh, would you do this cruise again?" I said, "If somebody would come and get me off this cruise, I'd be really happy."
Yeah,
because I was really
we were struggling.
loving life right at that time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's the best part. I think it's the best part of cruising is the fact that you don't have to have your phone on.
Exactly. And
great.
we learned that.
We had to learn that the hard way, I think.
On day 3, it was perfect. It was like, okay, here we go. Castaway Key, they reeled us in. They hooked us and they reeled us in.
And the one thing is, if you're used to going to the Disney parks, it is very go, go, go. And so if you haven't done a cruise before, it takes some time to like change that mindset of, I don't have to be going all the time. I'm allowed to sit back and relax.
Exactly. It's okay to do nothing. And we had to get into that, mindset.
And in the parks, you're always on your phone. Always. Yes. That's what is park driven is your phone. And then you get on the ship and it's like, I really don't need this anymore.
They have their ship app, so it made it really easy to navigate and see the activities and join in. But talking about the food, oh my gosh. We made the dreaded error from day 1 because we ate a bunch at the very first lunch. And I think we were full the entire trip. Like we ate and ate.
It's a foodie's paradise.
Oh, yes. Okay, so it's rotational dining for those that have not done a Disney cruise before. So your first night, where did you dine?
Well, the first thing we did is we were so nervous when we got on the ship. They said, there's a sit-down lunch. We never knew. We had never heard about that. So we did this sit-down lunch and then started to explore and got up to Cabanas,
Royal
the
Palace.
buffet.
Royal Palace was the first seated lunch. And a lot of people said they do Cabanas first, which I guess is their buffet now, I learned. Yeah. But we didn't. We wanted to do the seated just to kind of take a breath and
relax and calm down a little bit once we got on the ship.
Right. So we left there and then we were exploring the ship a little bit, walked by Cabanas buffet, had to sit again. We grabbed another plate and sat down and ate
the crab balls and the all-you-can-eat pill and eat shrimp. I mean, how could you pass it up? So sat there. We ate more food before we even left the port. So, and then that night we had Animator's Palette, which we learned about the rotational dining and about how your servers would follow you around to every night. And we had 4 nights of dining. So that was perfect. Our serving team, Raj and Kadeem, they were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Knocked it out of the park every night. So
I would ask for them again if we resail. Yeah, if that's possible.
Wow.
So they were your servers the entire trip, basically.
Yes, the same servers. They follow you around, and by night 2, which we'll get into, you didn't ask for a drink. Kadeem knew exactly what we were drinking, and he set it down as we sat down. Mm-hmm. So it was when they say there's service on the Disney Dream or the Disney cruises, they are 100% correct.
Oh, wow.
They get to know what you order and what you like, and they'll actually suggest dishes that they think that you will like. So they were right on the whole trip, I think. They were wonderful.
Wow. Yeah, it's nice awesome when they get to know you because they already know what your routine is at dinner, and what you drink at the beginning of your meal, or what you drink with your dessert course, and that kind of stuff. And
it's funny, it makes it nice. And Victoria and Albert's, because if anybody's been to Victoria and Albert's, they used to have a Grand Marnier souffle there for lunch, for the dessert course, and they had it on the Wonder. I mean, the Dream.
The Dream. They served it at Royal Palace.
They served it at Royal Palace on the Dream. And they set it down in front of me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the exact same one.
I thought he was going to cry.
I about to cry. And I love desserts. I am a foodie through and through. So Kadeem, I mean, Raj took that to heart. Our main server took that to heart. And I can go ahead and say it. I had that dessert every night of the cruise. He made sure I had it every night, except Pirate Night, the only night
even though we rotated. And the last night, He brought
me two.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
there's one for the road.
Yeah. I actually did take it back to the room. Now that you said that, Bubba, I took it back to the room.
Oh, the room. Nice. Man, I would love to see the look on my server's face when I walk on that ship. Like, oh man, he's going to keep me busy this trip.
That's pretty much.
But that's awesome. That is awesome. They do that for you, man.
They do.
I was worried about that, about ordering multiple entrees and appetizers. I know everybody told us before we went that it's a thing everybody does and don't worry about it. I think the lunch, we were a little hesitant until the table next to us, we kind of mimicked what they were doing. And man, I think tried everything on the lunch dish. And when we left there, we were just so full. It was insane.
Yeah.
We had to do maybe like the wine where you just sip and, but we ate the whole thing. It was terrible.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
We were so full.
So what would you like to know about dinner?
Okay, so Artist Point, what did you order for your what stood out there that you guys got to try?
I believe it was the escargot.
An Animator's Palette?
Wow.
Animator's Palette. Right.
Wasn't that it? Yeah, that was that.
Yeah, by the way, we'll never remember anything we ate anywhere. But I think Animator's Palette was our lunch, and we had prime rib. They had a prime rib. Mm-hmm. They had horseradish, and we had asked them for sour cream because we mix our horseradish with sour cream. And they just thought that was the weirdest thing. I was you guys should try this. This is really good.
It was straight horseradish?
Yeah, it was straight horseradish. They just
wow, yeah.
And I said, y'all got some sour cream?
They had never heard of that?
Wow.
That? No,
they
hadn't heard of it.
He brought it out and saw me mixing it, and he actually asked, what was it? And I told him it's a cream. It's to buffer the horseradish so it's not so strong. Yeah. And he said, oh, well, I'll have to remember that for the future. So
I have never been to a restaurant ever where they just give you straight horseradish with your.
I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No, it's all creamy horseradish.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough to eat straight horseradish on. I've tried it.
Doesn't bother me.
Oh, Aljon.
Especially when you're having steak at Lowry Steakhouse. I'm definitely not having. It's all good.
Lowry's.
Oh yeah.
What's that name drop? I like that.
Yeah, you know.
So actually at Royal Palace that night for dinner, what stuck out, we had a citrus
that was the
brine shrimp with a slice of lobster on it. And then we had escargot, which they bring out this little baguette with the escargot. And it was just like sopping up, but it was fantastic.
Well, again, being a Southern girl, I learned real quick. I know you're supposed to eat the escargot on like a little crudité or like a little, what do you call it? The little crostini. But he brought the bread. Yeah. So I was tearing the bread off and dunking it in the little well. That's mainly butter, in the well. It was so good.
We liked it so well, he asked us if we would like another. So, we did pass on that one because we tried 2 other appetizers, but those 2 really stood out. And they had Chateaubriand that night, opening meal for that night.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love me some escargot.
Oh, I do too.
Butter, that garlic butter. So good.
Oh, it was so good.
Tell you, it was
we hadn't had that before. That was new to us. The portion sizes were great. They were a little bit smaller than what I would call a restaurant portion, but it made you feel like you could order multiple without really overdoing it.
Right.
So they were perfect. It gave you like just enough. Him and I shared a lot of the dishes. So it was like perfect portion sizes. So that was
good. And you weren't wasting anything. That was the first best thing about it. So that was nice.
That's one of the nice things that I do like when you cruise is that the portions are smaller. So you can enjoy more things And that's one reason like I like tapas so much is because you can try a wide variety of things and instead of just getting like one or two things and being stuffed.
That's actually why Halio at Disney Springs is one of our favorite restaurants because of that. It's the tapa style, and we love that restaurant for that reason.
Yep. Makes sense.
I know somebody else here that really likes that restaurant.
Okay, let us know when you're down.
You can stay. We'll be there in October. Let's go.
Let us know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Contact
thinking.
us on the page. We'll come have dinner with you.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we should all do dinner together when we're at Walt Disney World, and then we could do an informal meetup with a bunch of our fans there.
That sounds good.
Awesome.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Now we just got to get Bubba to book.
Get on a plane ticket.
All right.
Okay, where does everybody
man? I'm busy. I'm trying here.
Where does everybody live in correlation to Walt Disney World?
I live about 3,000 miles from Disney World, but I'm about 2 hours from Disneyland.
Oh, okay. Favorite park. That's my favorite park.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Burbank, so about 5 minutes from the studio and about 35 minutes from Disneyland on a good day.
Okay.
Yeah, about to say on a good day, driving.
A good day.
So we're your East Coast representatives. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. We are on. Well, Kat is an annual pass holder for both parks. So yeah,
we used to be.
We are in Nashville, Tennessee. So yeah, our park is Walt Disney World, and occasionally it used to be yearly when we make trips out to Disneyland, and then of course,
until
things
Croco
happened in 2020.
Croco happened.
I like that. That's what happened to our first cruise. Croco happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, no, but it's great. I'm glad you guys, and this was your first, not just Disney cruise, but your first cruise.
That is correct. Our first ever cruise, and that's why we said we really weren't sure in the beginning, but then we're hooked now.
Well, we had the anticipation of the first 30-day round waiting. And then we found out it was literally the weekend before that we couldn't go on that one, had to redo, had to wait another 30 days for the next cruise coming up. So by the time we got there, I think we tried not to have any expectations, but we ended up, I think I had a higher expectation than I should have.
Right.
Like I had built it up. And I was so nervous about getting sick and, not enjoying the cruise.
That 15 minutes at the parking garage, because you still have to, at this point, you still had to take it.
Right.
Disney was still administrating it.
Yeah.
Now they're not. You have to have it 2 days before you go for a cruise. So that was a little hairy 15 minutes. We were a little scared there.
We knew we had, checked before we went down. So we knew that we were okay, but still just getting past that point was nerve wracking. So.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah. Especially since you had been sick just right before that too,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We found it very easy. I thought it was easier than an airport terminal. Like it was very easy. Like they had it well marked and they guided you, and we were on the ship and boom, boom, boom. And we were on and set free to do whatever we wanted to do. So it was great.
Yeah.
Now,
that was great.
Did you notice, a lot of people don't notice this when they're on the ship, but if on the carpet, did you notice which direction the fish go?
See, I put it in our video because I said, if you look at the stars and if you look at the lights, the stars and the lights will point to the front of the ship and to the back of the two little points go to the back of the ship. Problem was I was continually lost on this ship. I would get so turned around.
Oh, I get it. I'm like,
there's fish on the carpet, and the fish go in the direction of
the front
forward.
Of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Port and then starboard. Okay.
Yeah. So it's easy to do. And then you learn that the two restaurants, Paolo and Remy, are at the back of the ship. So as soon as I knew that, I was oriented.
Now, did you go to either Paolo or Remy's?
We went to Remy's for brunch.
And how was that?
Yeah, we did their champagne brunch. We don't drink champagne, but they do.
We did there.
Give you a free glass.
But not allowed.
Yeah, they bring you a glass of champagne when you check in. It is a 5-course meal, and it is there's a French chef that is a Michelin star chef, and then the head chef of Victoria and Albert's is also the other chef of Remy's, and it's a 5-course meal. We were there about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And if you watch the video, you see where our seat is, and it was right at the window looking out over the sea. For my money's worth, I think the water views, I probably wouldn't do a dinner at night because you don't see anything.
Or go early enough that you get the sunset.
Right.
That would be beautiful.
Before
that to me is very comparable to Victoria and Albert's. It's a memorable dinner.
Very
when
memorable.
You ask, what do you remember about the food? I remember I had a cherry oxtails at Victoria and Albert's. I can tell you right now, or I know what it tastes like. I can remember it. And Remy's is sort of the same.
Yep.
I had a little a tortellini that was stuffed, and it was just out of this world fabulous. So it was well worth it. I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not done Remy's because I went on the Magic, but I did do Paolo, and it's nice that even there they'll bring you extra things so that you get to enjoy more.
I don't think Remy's is that
Remy
way.
doesn't do that.
It was very, the 5 courses and that's it.
Every server is from France. There is no.
I had a hard time understanding what he was saying. The whole crew wore masks, so that made it a little difficult
of course.
With their accent, and then I couldn't hear. So half of his story about Remy's I didn't catch until after we got back.
And the characters were still not doing contact on the ship, even though they said it announced that they were going to do contact. There was no contact. They were behind the ropes, so you could take your picture in front of them.
Oh,
well, it was okay.
It was all right.
And I understand that, especially with the cruise ship, because there's all kinds of viruses that get passed around on ships and stuff, especially because you're going into, so many different ports and things. So, I mean, I completely get that, but it's a bummer.
Yeah, it was
very clean. The ship they were actually doing some minor repairs to it, I guess, for the handoff. The crew was telling us they were all sailing. I guess we came back on, what day was it? Friday. They were all sailing the next day at sea down to Miami to hand it over.
They had one more 3-day, and then that Monday they were heading to Miami.
Painting the outside when we were docked, just trying to spiff it up a little bit, I guess, for the handoff. So that was interesting to watch.
Yeah,
it's very common to see, especially on the outside of the ship when they are in port somewhere, them washing or painting or something. Like every cruise I've ever been on, all the cruise lines do that.
Yeah, especially at Castaway, since it's their own ship. They had their cranes. They had everything out there painting.
I think that was my favorite part, was I asked you, how do they get the ropes back or out? I saw them crank in the ropes when we left, but I didn't know how they got the rope out to the dock. So the morning we docked at Castaway Key, I watched them shoot the cannon out where they shot the lines. I think that's one of my favorite parts. To watch them dock.
It's like a harpoon. I was like, they shoot it out like a harpoon.
Yeah. And once they missed, they had to do it again. So it was funny.
That's cool, though. I have not seen them do that, but that's cool.
Oh, that's the best when you dock, and y'all need to watch that. That is really fun to watch.
Yeah, they have men and women out on this little rope spongy dock, and then they shoot the line over the dock and it gets caught by a wire, and they're physically having to catch it and pull the rope up. It was really interesting. It was funny to watch.
Nice.
Okay, so where else did you dine?
Okay, so day 2, we pulled into Nassau, and we really hadn't planned on doing anything in Nassau because there's so many different, you hear so many different stories. Go to Nassau, go here, go there. We actually walked into Nassau for about 10 minutes, turned back around, got back on the ship, and they were serving lunch at
Hurry, the second day.
Enchanted.
I think it was back at
Royal Palace. Lunch was at Royal Palace. So we were going to go there, but we made our ways back up to Cabanas because we was like, okay, Cabanas, we know what that is. We had that for breakfast, so we were good to go. We knew that. So that's when we walked into Nassau, came back and had Royal Palace for lunch. And I think you got the meatloaf. They had a meatloaf. I was really surprised, but it was really good. Mm-hmm. And then
I like a good meatloaf.
Yeah, I was shocked.
And now it's funny having to recant them again because we must have had easily 100 plates. So to remember what was where, I have to, look at my phone.
I have to go back and look at the videos. Everybody says, "Oh, well, don't you have pictures?" I was like, "No, we have videos. Go to YouTube, see all over it." I go watch them, say, "Oh yeah, I remember that now." That's actually kind of why we started the channel, was because I always told my kids, if I get old and senile, you can just sit me in front of the TV and let me watch it and say,
just watch that.
This is it.
But it was really good from my recollection. The boat wasn't that full because most of everybody had left, to go into Nassau. So the boat itself was a little lighter in people. So that made it nice sort of venture.
Yeah,
around.
we were at 60% capacity when we
wow.
That's what our capacity was.
So we found the drink machine and where we get the Cokes, and he found his ice cream machine, and we kind of got to find the incidental stuff.
Yeah, because if you've never taken a Disney cruise, unlike other cruises, they don't sell a drink package. But they offer all the sodas, all the other stuff you can drink. And everybody says, bring a tumbler, because I forget this is bring a tumbler, because they've got glasses for you, but they're little tiny glasses.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're
hard to travel with.
Everybody says the best thing for those cups is the ice cream machine. You can put more ice cream in, and then you can those cones.
Oh,
and then dinner that night, we went to
Animator's Palette.
Because it seemed like the first 2 days we were in the same 2 restaurants, because we did lunches at Royal Palace, and then the first dinner was at Royal Palace, and then the second night was at Animator's Palette.
Which is on the Dream. It is actually a Nemo themed. They always play Nemo stuff on the screens and stuff like that. It's not the older Animator's Palette that everybody's used to that turns different colors.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. And so I kept waiting. I thought you walked in and it was white and then the colors came in. I thought that's what I was getting into, and it wasn't. It was just kind of Crush Nemo based, the turtle.
Which is fine. Not my favorite Disney movie, but it was good.
Different.
It fit the theme. And once again, I sat down. We had our dinner. I had prime rib again that night. We had gotten a seafood linguine, which was pretty good.
I did have they had a chicken and shrimp gumbo. That was probably the best I've ever had. I can say that. It was really good. Just the perfect amount of spice, and it wasn't seafoody at all. It was delicious. It was really good.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get it again, unfortunately, because I guess Raj had said because it was Animator's Palette, and then we went to Pirate Night, and then it was Castaway Cay. There was a reason why I couldn't get it, but it was really good.
So that night at Animator's Palette, that was our second night, and Raj says, "So what do you want for dessert?" And I said, "Raj, you know what I want for dessert." And I had the dessert once again for that night.
Now, did you try any additional desserts?
They had a chocolate tart, which was like a tiramisu.
Yeah.
Which then became another favorite. So then I started getting both of those desserts every time he'd come to the table.
I had all kinds of different ones. Like I was on a Sunday quest. Like every meal they have a special Sunday.
Yeah, they different ice cream Sunday.
So from strawberry cheesecake to like a turtle, like every night there was like a different Sunday.
Yeah, they had a rum raisin one.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Rum raisin.
Yeah, rum raisin.
Jeez.
That sounds good.
The third day was Pirate Night, which was Castaway Cay is usually your pirate night and fireworks. So
I think that's what did it for us was Castaway Cay, that barbecue lunch that they did on the beach.
On cookies? Oh my God, we were at too.
I don't think tell them your ribs.
Okay, so we get off the ship. Actually, we look at the ship and we're looking at Castaway Cay and it's gorgeous. And we happen to turn to the right.
We were lucky to get a veranda.
It was storming. It was raining so hard. And I'm like, oh, this might not be good. So we docked, but it cleared up. We got on the island early. And if there is one tip, as we like to call them Tad tips, that would be my tip, is get on the island early because the water is clear.
Well, it was like 9
before everybody gets in the water and swooshes it all around. So we went snorkeling.
Oh, nice.
Which was fantastic. And if you watch the video, they got different color buoys, orange buoys and yellow and white buoys. The white buoys are Disney characters that you can go out to snorkel to. And the orange buoys are just shipwreck type stuff. So they have a Nautilus from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea that was at Walt Disney World. They actually got a Nautilus there that they've sunk, and you can go see it on the seafloor.
That's very cool.
After we done that, they told us where to go eat, and it was at Cookies 2. There was another place that for adults only.
It was at Serenity
Bay. Yeah.
3 eating places. It was Cookies 1, Cookies 2, or then you could go to Serenity Bay.
Right.
Which I guess we thought we should go there because we thought it was like the older crowd and the nice and quiet place. But we found a really nice spot between the 2 beaches right there at Cookies 2. And that's where we stayed.
Yeah.
It was a gorgeous little spot. So I don't know how busy Cookies 1 was. I would imagine because there was more people down that way. It was busier, but Cookies 2 was perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect spot. And then we found out later that the only thing different at Serenity Bay is that they do steaks for the adults. So
which I was kind of bummed I didn't know that. We'd already ate after, but anyway.
Apparently they were porterhouses. We didn't know that.
No, it wasn't.
So that's what they said. They said it was porterhouses.
Well, I'm going next.
So we went to Cookies too, and it was like a barbecue paradise. They had food, and they had 4 different areas, but they served all the same food. So there was never a real crowd or anything like that. You could get to the food, everything. They had the salads, the macaroni salad, potato salads, hamburgers, hot dogs, sauerkraut,
like a pulled pork sandwich. Like they had everything.
All that good stuff. And then they had ribs. So I make my plate, take it over to the picnic tables. I bite one rib and I'm like, I don't even know if I can eat the rest of this food. I need more ribs. I went and got, I bet you I probably got a dozen ribs.
Hey.
I got so many ribs that we
make a skeleton
with the lady that was sitting beside us. Well, she didn't get a rib. And I was like, here, have a rib. These are the best ribs you'll have. Probably one of the best ribs I had. I was like, how on this island they making this great rib? But it was good. So
are the ribs similar to the ones over at Hoop-Dee-Doo that just fall off the bone?
Yes, they were.
They were hot and they were smoky and you could smell the barbecue and all of that together. Just, you had that feeling like you get at the beach where you swim, you get a little sunburnt and then you eat. It was like the best rib ever.
And I would have to say at Cookies and Cookies too, they don't put a lot of food out. They're always replenishing it quickly. And that made the difference in the world. The food was hot and there was smoke. You can tell they're using wood and charcoal, and it was good food. I did not have we got one of those.
And everybody was happy, and it was just a wonderful experience. And I think that was our from that point forward, I think that's what got us for the cruise. I am so anxious to go back there. Like I said, I would take one of the cruises where you do the double dip, where they go in there twice.
Yes.
That was just amazing.
If they wouldn't go to Nassau, I'd go and I was like, oh man, I really don't need to go to Nassau. Let's go back over to Castaway Cay and be done with this. It was
really good. So food wise, so we ate there. So of course we're staying full the whole entire cruise. So we drag ourselves.
Back
it was
to
about
the ship.
3:30ish, I guess, back to the ship. And then decided we were going to try the room service instead of, going down to Cabanas. So I wanted to see what the room service was
because we learned it was free and you could get what you wanted. So we got the room service. Had some of the best chicken wings we've ever had. Yes. And then I realized that you could get Mickey premium bars delivered to your stateroom. And then that was a whole different story. I was like, oh no, this is terrible. So we had that for midday snack.
What do you call
that?
Linner?
We had that for a Linner.
Lunch and dinner.
That was our Linner. And then we had Animator's Palette again on our Pirate Night. So we had 2 nights back to back that were Pirate Night and the night before, but totally different menus.
Yeah.
And that was the only night I could not get the desserts because every restaurant on the ship serves the same menu. It's not like they're going to be different menus. Everything is the same because it's Pirate Night. So,
and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had finished eating, we finished the fireworks, and then they were setting up for the buffet that they have at Cabanas later that night for Pirates Night, which we really didn't even know that they would do that. I missed it. So we walked through Cabanas. And again, it was gorgeous. Just so much special food set up. And
it's all themed pirate. The breads are pirate rolls and everything's pirate.
Very cool.
I see what they did light on the dinners because they're anticipating you're going to go to the buffet, I'm sure.
But I still don't know how people ate at that night. I mean, I was so full. I was like, where are you people putting this food? I just have no idea. So at Pirate Night, they do the little pirate show out on deck. And then they do the fireworks right over deck, and Disney is the only cruise line that does fireworks. And then they play Pirates of the Caribbean on the main hall as the midnight buffet is going on. So, like I said, it's a paradise.
One of the other cool things, not food related, that I like about Disney Cruise Line is they also have the movie theater there, and you can see the movies that are like Disney, movies that are in the theaters. So that's really cool. I mean, how many places can you go and see a movie included in the price of your vacation?
And our movie was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse.
Yes.
I thought we were going to have a riot on the ship. because they started playing the movie and there was no sound for the first.
We were like 30 seconds, like 45 seconds in, and the music stopped, but you could still see the video. Everybody was going crazy.
They were going crazy
because they didn't want the spoilers, before they could hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the nightly shows. We forgot all about those, but the Broadway nightly shows that they had, we had the Golden Mickeys, Beauty and the Beast, and then Believe. And all three of those shows were fantastic on that ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do a good job with those shows.
They do. They really do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you do any of the trivia or anything like that on board?
Well, we tried to go to one trivia game, and we were the only ones that showed up.
What?
Aww.
Yeah, everybody else was doing other stuff. So
well, the guy explained
Doesn't that mean you actually automatically win? That means
you win. You win.
No, I should have said that.
I should
have said that. I was like, oh man, we
win. It was
win.
an add-on because I guess when it rains, they do extra activities because they anticipate that everybody's going to stay on board. So this particular one we chose, it was like a generational type quiz. It was an add-on. So most people, I think, had already favorited other activities that they were involved in.
Right, and stuff like that. And we learned quickly that bingo is the big game on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you buy into bingo
Yes.
because it's like 2,000, 5,000, 10,000
It was a
each
lot of
night
money.
and progress stuff. And I was like, wait,
What?
there's
Wow.
no gambling on a Disney ship. And they're like, I guess that's how they do it with the bingo.
Yep.
But everybody was playing bingo.
Yeah, I think next time we're going to do it, we just ran out of time. We didn't have time to get into that. Like, you're not busy, but you're busy being not busy.
Yes. The good thing is there's always something to do.
You're exactly right. Especially the lounges that I call it like the lounge district that they have.
It's called the district with all the lounges in it.
Yes. That is so much fun.
And the thing is you're sitting in the lounges and you're walking from lounge to lounge and they just have these buffets set up with chicken strips and shrimp. So we're walking by one and I'm filming. I just reach over and grab a chicken skewer and keep walking.
I turn around and he's eating. I'm like, where did you get that?
Hey, it was right
he
there.
just walked by and grabbed it off the bar. It was crazy.
Disney magic.
That's right. It was definitely Disney magic for that.
So question real quick. Do they have like Disney staples like corn dogs and churros and, those Disney staples when you go to the park and stuff like that?
They do not have
They have
churros.
waffles.
And I didn't see any corn dogs, but they have in a section called Flo's Cafe. And there's 4 little windows and they all
Flo's
open.
V8. I think
Flo's
it's
V8 Cafe. And there's 4 little windows and they all open at different times. But one will do chicken fingers and then they'll do pizza, they'll do hot dogs and all the quick stuff because it's on the 11th deck, which is the deck. So that's how they do
I
that.
don't remember seeing any like iconic things. The only thing was breakfast. They had the Mickey waffles. That's all I remember really seeing.
Yeah.
And our server Raj kept telling, "Oh, you got to get Mickey waffles. You got to get Mickey waffles." And Michelle finally looked at him and says, "We have Mickey waffles all the time." Different.
Funny.
There's supposed to be a churro waffle somewhere, but somebody's mentioned churro waffles before. But I was like, I didn't see any of those. But
I did do mistakes that I want everybody to kind of not do what I did. I was so excited to go. I was so excited to go that I had got some special little things off of the cruise line website. I bought. I bought like a decorator set, which I didn't know the walls and everything's magnetic. So the decorations cling to like the ceiling and things. So that was cute. But this is what I shouldn't have done. I actually got a fruit plate and I didn't realize that fruit is really abundant on the ship. So I didn't really need to buy the fruit plate. I just made my own fruit plate. So
the fruit basket looked really good when we walked into the room, but after that, I was like, we can get fruit anywhere on this ship. It was not hard.
I bought it for the coconut, in all disclosure, because it had half of a coconut, which I thought looked beachy. So that's why I got it. But afterwards, we didn't touch the fruit. I think we ended up, I don't know, did we even eat it? I don't know.
The grapes and the bananas and stuff, but then the coconut.
Because then I learned we couldn't bring it home because you can't bring food. So I should have done that.
Let's see. Is there any place we've missed talking about that you tried?
Well, we went down to the final night, which was, and it is kind of you get the final night and you remember you got to say goodbye to these people. They've become part of your family. And remember
what the people around you.
Yeah, because on rotational dining, you sit with the same people that are around you.
Yes.
So we were always table 45. So we always had the same families around us at every meal. And we got to know them. So you have to say goodbye to them. And you learn more and more about the crew members. Mm-hmm. And Raj had actually asked us the night before, he said, do you guys like Indian food? And we're like, oh yeah, we love Indian food. He's like, okay. And that's all he said. It was okay. So
and that's
our
where he
final
was from,
night,
of course, he was from India.
Our final night, we're eating our dinners, and I think we got a fish and a beef again, because they serve beef at every meal. You're going to get beef no matter what you do. And he says, oh, I got something for you. So he walks to the kitchen, comes back out, and the table behind us, because she likes Indian food, the chef had prepared a butter chicken dish.
It was a
curry chicken.
And some kind of like,
they call it a booby. I don't know, some vegetable. It's got cauliflower and potatoes, but it's from India. He had naan. He said, this is what we eat when we go home.
Yeah.
So he brought it out, and it was one of the best meals. And just the emotions from it was just what really
made you feel special and like unique on the ship. Like we were the only ones that night that got that. So it felt really cool.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice. We enjoyed. I'm telling you, the cruise, we didn't, like I said, we started out, this isn't for us. And it's like, we got home because we finally got internet when we got home and was like, okay, let's start looking. Let's see what we can find.
Now we can't stop talking about it and thinking about it. We've already booked another one.
Yeah, we did book another one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going back on the Dream October 15th through 20th. We're doing a Halloween on the high seas. And we're leaving from Miami, which everybody says, oh, that's a little bit different than Port Canaveral. So that's the only thing that we're a little skittish of.
And that's a Eastern
Caribbean on that one. So if anybody's going to be on a Halloween cruise that time, we'll be there.
You'll love it. You'll absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's something we have not done, is any of the specialty cruises like that, Halloween or Christmas time.
And this year they got the Sanderson sisters. That'll be Minnie Mouse, Daisy, and Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Are the three sisters. So that'll be different. And we had to go down there because we wanted to go on the Wish, but right now the prices are a little, they're the new prices. You know exactly. So.
That's when you have to talk to Kristen right there.
I know.
Well, lucky for Todd, he's a cast member. So
Oh yeah, he's a cast member. That's right.
We have to wait a little bit.
I'm going to go ahead and tell on us fully. We actually, because we are first-time cruisers, and that's all we know, it's just the Dream, we've actually booked one on the other line, the Royal Caribbean, if I can say.
Oh, absolutely.
It's coming up, actually. It's July. We're going with our daughter and our son-in-law.
Wow, so you're going on 3 cruises. Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we love it now.
Yeah.
But I want to see the difference because the price was a little different, obviously. They're set up a little different. So I just wanted to see what the difference was between going Disney versus, one of the
Royal
other cruise
Caribbean.
lines.
Yeah.
I think it's Independence of the Sea, but it leaves from Port Canaveral.
I think the bar has been set really high. So it's going to be interesting to see, the differences.
It's definitely a different experience. And, I don't remember how big that ship is, but some of their ships are pretty massive. The amount of stuff that's on there that you can do is insane on some of the Royal Caribbean
That's what
ones.
we heard. And really the only reason we booked that cruise, because Becca watched our daughter Rebecca watched our Disney cruise, and she's like, I want to go on a cruise now. And we're an hour from port. We can drive an hour over to Port Canaveral, and you can just watch to see if there's any specials or anything. And that's how we snagged that one.
Yeah,
so
it's a really good time.
Royal Caribbeans, those are another one. I like those, as well as the Norwegian Cruise Line. Those are my 3 favorite cruise lines to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a friend going on a Carnival cruise Monday, and I was like, "Oh, you got to report back to me on that one."
They're the fun ship.
That's what everybody says.
Well,
they are the inexpensive ship.
Truth be told, they're all fun ships. Truth be told,
she's actually going on the ship that the funnel caught fire, and they haven't replaced it yet. So it's only got one piece of funnel left.
Oh, wow.
There were 4 ships docked at Nassau when we got there. Wow. We were so lazy. We walked down to the end of the deck when we got off at Nassau, but we rode the golf cart coming back to the ship.
Yeah.
It was such a long walk. But he had told us they had been working on the dock and they were anticipating bringing back, I guess they have a tram there.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Like 2 weeks. Now, I don't know if that's 2 weeks in home building language. Like, I don't know if it's really 2 weeks or is it a month? But he kept saying like in 2 weeks it would be ready to come back in.
Yeah, the trams will be back, and then they're building shops on that pier, and they're supposed to be back within a month and a half. They're supposed to be up and running a month and a half.
Very nice.
It was like the first time in a while that many ships had been in at once. So we got to see 2 of the carnivals, and then the Royal Caribbean Emerald of the Seas was docked.
And then us. So pretty busy at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Occupancy. We can mention that too, like on our cruise.
Yeah, total we were at 60%.
Oh, yeah. Our ship, I think, doesn't it hold like 4,000 something? It holds a lot of people. And I think we're at 2,700 when we sailed.
Yeah,
so
that's what they had told us when we checked in. So
but we're going on Independence of the Seas, which I think is like 2,700 total. So I think it's a smaller ship than the Dream.
Yes. Yeah, that would be a smaller ship then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I think you will have fun. It's very different, so don't go expecting the same thing you got from Disney. But
well,
cruising's fun. You can eat so much good food. Yeah. So if that's your thing, you'll enjoy their ships just as much.
Yeah, because on this cruise we'll be on an interior cabin, so we'll have no view or anything. So I have to be up on the deck.
We were spoiled with the veranda. Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Well, they got more than bingo for you in that one. So
that's what we hear.
Hey, all right.
That's what we hear.
All right.
That is true.
Well,
so y'all done one before.
Todd and Michelle, we have I can't even talk. We have enjoyed having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. And definitely you are welcome to come back at another time.
Anytime.
We'd love to have you on.
Tell people exactly where they can find your show on Instagram and YouTube and all that.
On Instagram, we're Traveling Around Disney. On YouTube, we're Traveling Around Disney. On Facebook, we have a Facebook page, which is Traveling Around Disney. And I sometimes go on Twitter, but sometimes I get a little. Yeah, we're also Traveling Around Disney on there. So
I think, the great thing is that you post these videos there at the Dining at Disney group on Facebook. So, please like all their content they post there because they're friends of our show.
Yeah, and we really do want to thank you guys for that, because there are some groups out there that's like, no. This is just about, and you've allowed us to do that. And I try to go back and answer other comments that people make, like, okay, where should I go for a celebration? Where should I go for this? And I think that's it. It's just a community. It's building a community, not only on YouTube, but on Facebook, that people can trust what you say.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the thing is you asked me before you started posting, you said, would it be okay if I posted my videos? That's all anybody needs to do is ask.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like I've always told everybody says, well, where's the best? Where's the best? I was like, there is no best on Disney property. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, just because I like a burger, don't mean you're going to like that burger.
Exactly.
And I will go on record to say Geyser Point does not have the best burger on property. I know everybody will come at me on that one.
Yeah.
But
he will agree with you on that.
Although I will tell you that some of the best fried chicken I've ever had is going to be at the Hoop-de-Doo review. So
Hoop-de-Doo and 50's Primetime Cafe.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Thank you.
100%.
Is awesome.
That, and they actually took the best burger on Disney property away. It was at Brown Derby. They had one of the best burgers I'd ever eaten there.
There's no mistaking that. I like that.
Yeah, anytime y'all want to talk food, we'll be glad to come back on.
Well, that will be great. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. You can find us on Anchor or any of the other amazing podcasting platforms out there. If you do head over to Anchor, you can be a donor there as well and support the show for as little as 99 cents.
We're going to have to start calling them producers because they're helping produce this show.
Okay.
Yes.
You can also support the show. For those of you shopping, you can go to diningatdisney.com, and we have links for Amazon, the Disney Store, and even Garden Grocer. Hey, Bubba, you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
Diningatdisney.com. You can go there and check everything out. All our social media pages, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Dining at Disney. Find me on Instagram, big_Bubba_B, and contact Kristen right here with all your travel needs. Theme parks and cruises at gmail.com. She'll hook you up, most definitely. And where can everybody find you, Kat?
You can find me on Instagram at catastrophe at CAT_ASTROPHE. Make sure to catch out some other great podcasts, including the Disney List with Kristen and Aljon, WW Park Hoppers with Park Hopper John and Park Hopper Sid, Disney Parks Podcast with Tony and John, Skull Rock Podcast with Aljon and Dave Bossert, and my little podcast, Eat the Pictures. For Facebook fun, join our friends at Disney Dorks and the Circus Air Radio Fun Zone, and find Michelle and Todd over on the Dining at Disney Facebook group, where so many fun things are happening.
Until next time, I'm Kristen. With me was producer Aljon, Bubba, Kat, and our very special guest from Traveling Around Disney, Todd and Michelle. Bon appetit.
The information and opinions expressed in this podcast are for entertainment and informational purposes. All other trademarks mentioned are the property of their respective owners.
Eat the Pictures is a bite-sized movie podcast. Every week we look at the ways different movies, from classic horror to rom-com, use food to tell stories on screen. Food unites us all. Let's explore it piece by piece on Eat the Pictures. Stay hungry.
I'm Kristen Hoetzel, vacation planner, world traveler, Disney foodie, and theme park fan.
I'm Aljon Go. I'm the husband who's also Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel Comics fan. And together, we host a Disney List podcast.
Every week, you'll hear us list our favorite things about Disney theme parks, films, shows, travel, Marvel, and Star Wars in a top 10 list, rankings, and more.
That's an impressive list. Subscribe to the Disney List podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast platform. You can even stream us on Sorcerer Radio at srsounds.com and check out our live shows on Facebook. The Disney List podcast. Visit thedisneylist.com.